game, the Niners and the Eagles in Philadelphia, and it's a game that features the youngest quarterback matchup ever in a conference title game. You got Brock Purdy, you got Jalen Hurts. Their combined age, 47 years and 208 days. I'm 8 years older than that. In the meantime, 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, just the fifth rookie to start a conference championship game. He'll be seeking to become the first ever to start in a Super Bowl if they should get there. On the other side, you got Hurts, 20-3 in his career when the Eagles are favored. That's second best Super Bowl era. And Vegas likes the Eagles, but only by a smidge. They're currently a 2.5-point favorite in this matchup. It has sat at that number pretty much all week long. It would be just the second time San Francisco's been a betting underdog all year long. It was a 1-point dog to Kansas City in Week 7. That's a game the Eagles lost by, the 49ers lost by 21 points. So, RC, let me come back to you. What is the most important thing when the Eagles offense is on the field and the 49ers defense is on the field? What's the most important thing you'll be watching for?
Listen, it's about explosive plays. It's about how do we get chunk plays against the San Francisco 49ers, who love to make the offenses earn points the hard way, the long way, with long drives and continuing to accumulate first down. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they led the entire league in explosive plays with over 130 of those, and that's the A.J. Browns, that's the run game, that's the Devontae Smith, obviously Jalen Hurts. How do we create that in both the run and the pass against D'Amico Ryan's defense? Let's go back to what we saw with Jarrett Stidham and the Las Vegas Raiders a few weeks ago. They were able to create 11 of those such plays and 9 in the pass game. If Jalen Hurts, a guy who has been great pushing the football down the field, when he gets those one-on-one matchups, understanding who's the guy between Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, and also Devontae Smith, and putting the ball in pinpoint accurate spots in order to create those plays, he's going to have to do some of that this week. But in order to do that, you have to control this pass rush and Nick Bosa, which I think you do with the run game. You get into some of the zone reads, some of the RPOs, have him guessing on his way to the quarterback, and that's how you create these plays. If the Eagles are able to do that, I think they win this game, and I think they win it much easily or much easier than we're expecting, because those plays are huge against this defense.
It's a great point, because if there is a weakness in the San Francisco defense, it is the further you get away from the football on the line of scrimmage, right? They're unbelievable up front, but if you can find a way to neutralize that, the secondary can be beat a little bit.
Yeah, again, the zone read is going to be key here. Bosa and playing against the zone read. So this play here is a misdirection, and it stops your feet, and that flashback of the tight end, it messes with your eyes. So anything that messes with your vision and something coming back to you on the mesh of the football and the quarterback, that's where you can be in trouble. And then again, they're a pass rushing football team. So what do? You take advantage of guys running up the field and opening up big lanes like this. So this front, the 49ers front, number one, they got to stop the zone read. If you can stop the run early, then you can pin your ears back and go get the quarterback.
And Diana, go ahead.
Yeah, you used the word plaster before when we were talking about the other game, right? The 49ers defense, they're so sound. You hit 3, 4, 5 seconds.
Got to get it out.
It makes it tougher, right?
Yep.
So, yes, lots of eyes are going to be on A.J. Brown, but I think this is the kind of game with Devontae Smith. This is where he steps up big and becomes a crucial part of this offense.
All right, we will make our predictions for both of these games as the hour continues. Meanwhile, there's a lot of other news around the NFL on this Friday. The Cowboys, they keep one big name yesterday. So why do we believe there are still significant changes on the way? You'll find out why next. Plus, another offseason, another beautiful mystery. Did a move to a new neighborhood become a reality for Mr. Taunting the home team? Is that the worst thing they could possibly do? Meanwhile, the D in Big D stands for demand, which Mike Mack remains. But there's one key piece that may not be back. We'll tell you what that means. And then, my hopes are up. I'm connecting dots. I'm speaking it into existence. Does yesterday's news mean what I think it does? We're going to find out. Oh, it's a Football Friday, people, and it starts right now. Let's go. As we get ready for championship weekend, we welcome you to get up, presented by IHOP, and take a look at the crew that we have put together for you this morning. Ninko is ready to go. Diana Rossini is ready to go. Ryan Clark is up early this morning as we count the hours away until we get two classic championship games. The point spread suggests we are on our way to a fabulous Sunday. We'll begin in the AFC Championship rematch in Kansas City, in a stadium that many Bengals are now calling Burrowhead instead of Arrowhead. That's just part of the trash talking. Listen to Willie Gay and Jamar Chase. They've got a lot to say.
What is it about that Bengals offense that maybe impresses you the most? You played them a few times?
Nothing.
Okay.
Right.
Willie Gay was asked what impresses him about the Bengals offense today. He said nothing.
Willie, the linebacker. Yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
I ain't got no response for him. We're going to get him. I ain't got no response.
There's nothing better than pretending you don't know who someone is. Yeah. All right, RC, let's go. You're a veteran of a whole lot of big playoff games that involved a whole lot of talking. I personally like it. Do you?
No, I don't like it. Listen, we thought that after last year's divisional playoff round and the year before the AFC Championship between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, that this was our new Brady and Manning when you look at Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Well, it's actually turning out to be Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. And when you have these rivalries, there's usually this mutual respect. Also, when you have rivalries, both teams win. But right now, it's only the Cincinnati Bengals that are winning these games against the Kansas City Chiefs. And when you listen to the Burrowhead and some of the things coming out of Cincinnati, they're talking like a team that feels like they own the other. And then the saltiness and the chippiness from a guy like Willie Gay when asked about the Cincinnati Bengals offense to say nothing, well, he's lying, because everything about this offense impresses you. All of the skilled players, the quarterback, the way that they move in and out of the run, to the play action pass, to the short passes, to different type of disguises and creativity. All of that junk is good. And so if you're Willie Gay and you're being honest and you haven't been beat 3 times out of the last 3 times, you say that. But isn't this what we want, right? We want 2 teams that don't like each other. We want 2 teams that don't respect each other, that possibly have the best 2 quarterbacks in the entire world facing off in the AFC Championship for the 2nd year in a row. This is the type of tension that you need. But better believe it, Willie Gay knows who in the hell plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. Plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Cincinnati Bengals really don't care who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You know what's been fascinating to me, Diana, is getting to know Ninko here, is that when this came up yesterday, we found this yesterday during the show, and he immediately goes directly into Belichick.
Well, Bill's calling him on the phone.
I don't like it.
Say nothing.
His reaction, what are we doing? Why don't you like it?
I mean, what are we doing, Greeny, here? Come on. Jeez. You know what's surprising, though, is, RC, the Steeler, doesn't like the trash talk. The Steelers and trash talk. Come on, they used to stand at the 50-yard line. I remember Joey Porter, he'd have his shirt up, he'd be flexing. He did a lot of triceps and biceps. I never saw him on the squat rack, though.
If you lifted as much as Joey did upper body, you would too.
No, I was with Joey. I remember Joey in Miami. Anyway.
But does it impact? You're just giving them motivation. What is it you don't like about it?
Because
Bill wouldn't like it.
This matchup, it's not like they were blowout matchups. They're 9 points separating the 3 victories.
True.
Field goals.
Yeah.
Field goals.
So all field goals.
If it was 14 points, 21 points, those are the ones where you're really like, okay, we blew the doors off these guys. They didn't even stand a chance. They're basically a series or a play away from winning and losing those matchups. I get it. They're 3-0. But at the end of the day, they got to win Super Bowl here. They have to get to back to where they were last year and actually win it before I can crown them as the, Burrowhead Stadium and all these things that's going into this thing. I get it. It's great. It's a rivalry. It's a matchup. But still got to have a little bit of respect here.
They've got the chip, right? You were telling me this morning, Diana. They're just a chip kind of team.
It kind of reminds me when Mariah Carey was asked about J-Lo. Mariah said, I don't know her, right? It's now the famous burn, right? And when you say I don't know them, you know exactly who they are. It's just your way of trying to get out of it. And the Bengals have done a really good job of keeping those receipts over the last 2 seasons. They've got T-shirts weekly. It's like one thing for a team to have a T-shirt that represents the year, the message for the team.
Yeah.
They literally have a new T-shirt every week. And we saw him last week tell Tracy Wolfson right after the game, get those refunds. And I remember hearing the interview in the press box thinking, wait, they used the fact that the AFC Championship game had a neutral site as motivation?
And they were selling tickets.
Zach Taylor is doing an incredible job of finding pieces of motivation to get this team going. And it's hard. We're in week, 21 now, to be able to continue to find ways. And look, this team is united on that front, and it works.
So all of that is fun, and it's great for people like us. It does not, however, necessarily impact what happens once the ball is kicked off on Sunday.
No.
What does is the ankle of Patrick Mahomes. And so, Diana, I circle immediately back to you. We have all been studying the tape, watching everything. This, of course, is when he got hurt last Saturday, I should say, against Jacksonville. But we've been watching, literally watching him walk to and from a podium has been fascinating. What do we know about the ankle?
No, and I'm going to be watching that tape on Sunday at the game during pregame to see how much tape he's actually using for that ankle. He's not breaking stride. That's a really good sign.